Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamacro here, aka Scoot, with a International Trainers League battle with you. This is week 2 against John Mark, coach of the Mississippi Machamps. And he's got a pretty good team, so I prepped pretty hard for it. And yeah, looks like he brought the Garchomp, the Heatran, the Mega Gallade, Roserade, the Porygon Z, and the Electros. I pretty much predicted all of them to come besides the Electros. Yeah, I brought a physically defensive Rotom Wash, physically defensive Togekiss, mixed defense Umbreon, specially defensive Trevenant, Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, Close Combat, Ice Punch, Lucario, and a Calm Mind, perfect coverage Alakazam. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop in the battle here. He leads with Eel, and I'll lead with the Rotom Wash because, you know, Rotom Wash is the best lead. Okay, here I switch out. I was fearing the Giga Drain. I didn't want to take a Giga Drain because I need Rotom to be at full HP to take on a lot of things. Specifically the Mega Gallade, but he feared something, not sure what, but he switches out too. Here he sets up Toxic Spikes, which is, it's not bad because I have defog on my Togekiss, and I can just Will-O-Wisp it. I was hopefully he would switch out, but he stays in. Probably has natural cure, I think. But yeah, here I predict a switch in the Heatran or to something, hopefully, and I went for Leech Seed. And I caught the Heatran with the Leech Seed, and I have the Occa Berry and Harvest, so I can get my Occa Berry back every turn, hopefully, with God's good grace, Pokemon God's good grace. Here, I have the Earthquake here. I predicted Stealth Rocks and went for Earthquake, but he goes straight for the Lava Plume, which will not hurt me. Yup. Hit him with the Earthquake, which could maybe kill. It indeed almost does kill. Looks like he lived on 1 HP. But the leftovers does kill him. So here we are with a pretty good start to the match. The Heatran was a big stop to my Alakazam. I had Focus Blast, but I didn't want to rely on that. Now he brings in the Porygon Z here, and I expected maybe Tri-Attack or Dark Pulse. So, yeah. So I switched to the Lucario here. Should have went straight to Umbreon, but I wanted the attack boost from maybe the Dark Pulse. I take significant damage, but I calced it and it looked like Scarf damage, so I needed to switch out here because I want to keep Lucario. Umbreon eats this up, but gets poisoned in the process. And I expected a switch, so I doubled into Togekiss. But I did not expect him to go straight into the Roserade here. Now he's free to do whatever, but I brought in my Togekiss here. And I go for Air Slash just to get damage on this thing. It's probably a misplay on my part, to be honest. Probably should have went for the Defog or the Roost, just to gauge the kind of damage it could do. But he feared the Paraflinch, which I displayed in week 1. He feared it and switches out to his Electros here, which is fine. I can defog on it and see what he wants to do. He opts to go for the Volt Switch, which is fine. Revealed it was Life Orb, which is good for me to know. Now he brings in the Porygon Z here. I was expecting maybe Ice Beam or Thunderbolt. So I got an Umbreon here. It's a mixed set. Pretty hard to kill, you know. Yep. Predicted a switch here too. Just not into the Gallade. But here, I do fear the Swords Dance Mega Gallade could sweep me with the right coverage. So I opted to stay in and go for the Will-O-Wisp, which might have been a misplay on my part, I'm not sure. But he goes straight away for the knockoff, knocks off my item. Just don't matter because I die anyway. Okay, here I go for the Volt Switch because he can switch into anything literally. Most likely his Roserade, as he does. Yep. And now I'm free to go into my Mega Alakazam and fire off a modest Psychic. Get a free Psychic off here on the Garchomp here. Should do significant amount of damage, defensive or offensive. And it does. It does nearly 75%, 80%. And I feared the Scarf because of the damage it showed. So I switch out to my Togekiss and he drops the Stone Edge on me. Predictions, predictions, predictions. But knowing he couldn't two-hit KO me, he switches out. And I actually pull a double also into my Umbreon. Here I get off a Wish to see what this Electros wants to do. And he reveals that he was ready for my Umbreon. Couldn't do nothing about this. He hits me with the superpower, and at this range of HP, down I go. The pain, the pain. And then I just bring in Lucario here, and I can drop a close combat on whatever wants to come in. And he actually just decides to sack this thing off. Lucario picks up his first kill of the season on his first attack of the season. It's fine with me. Get that Wish back. That was beautiful. He brings in Gallade and fearing the close combat or Drain Punch. I'm just going to go ahead and switch straight to my Togekiss. It's quad resistant to all fighting type attacks. And fearing the Ice Punch, I went ahead and doubled into Rotom. Because Rotom was designed to beat Mega Gallade specifically anyway, so why not switch into it? It's got the Citrus Berry and Will-O-Wisp. He cannot 3-hit KO me, which means he can't KO me at all. And after the close combat, special defense, and defense drops, he probably has to switch here, and I can just go for the Volt Switch again. And he brings in the Roserade again, and I can just bring in Alakazam again and fire off another modest Psychic. And if he decides to stay in and sack off his Roserade, that's fine with me. And if he switches out, something takes big damage. Big damage. Trace the Natural Cure, that's pretty cool too. Especially if Toxic Spikes were still up. And he does decide to stay in, and the Roserade will drop to this modest Psychic. Probably would die to a Impish Psychic. Adamant. Whatever. And bringing the Garchomp in confirms that he is Scarf for me, plus the damage on Togekiss. So, expecting him not to Earthquake since I had 2 immunities. I expected either Dragon Claw or Stone Edge. I can just bring in Crixus, my Lucario here, absorb the Dragon Claw or Close Combat, whatever he wants to switch in, but he decides to sack his Garchomp, which is fine with me. Here I can just bullet punch, just get damage off. See what he locks himself into, engage what I want to come in to take him on. He goes straight for the tri-attack, and I decided that since Alakazam could live one and trace adaptability, that it was the best, option for me. I can take out the Porygon Z, and then he'll only have the Mega Gallade left, meaning that my Togekiss, Rotom Wash, and Mega Alakazam can take him on. Alakazam can take him on right now and finish him if he doesn't have Shadow Sneak. And fearing the Shadow Sneak, I switched out because it would have killed. Maybe a misplay, maybe not. But he goes for knockoff. I assumed he did not have Shadow Sneak at this point. Stayed in to sacrifice this thing, and if he stayed, or if he set up or something, the Air Slash would kill him or do significant amount of damage. And then Rotom could finish him. But here we are with Rotom now, taking the close combat. And it should bring me to my citrus, and I can get this Will-O-Wisp off and get my HP back. Yep, there's my berry. Will-O-Wisp lands, fantastic. And now we look good. Now we have Pain Split, so we can Pain Split immediately after this close combat, which would be the biggest difference in our HP that it's going to be. And then, if close combat kills, Alakazam comes in and Shadow Sneak or Shadow Balls, and if not, I can Pain Split him to death. Actually, I can go for the Volt Switch. Yeah, knowing his special defenses had dropped. Yeah, I went for the Volt Switch, which kills at this range of special defense drops us. And we come out with a win against John Mark, which is a great game. We moved to 2-0 with a +4 differential. I think we take over our division for now. We face another divisional team next week. Week 3, we face the Nevada Noivern and Noivern Nation. He's a great battler. We look forward to that one, and we'll see you then. Till then.